guys, it's your boy Cam, CTB, Cam Talks Boxing, back with another video. Anthony Joshua just beat Jermain Franklin this past weekend, and let's talk about what's next for him, what's wrong with him, and I've got a question for you. Will he become world champion again? Let's find out, let's talk. Yes guys, let's go straight into it. Before I start, I just want to say I've been off for about, well, I've put it in the community chat, but I've been unwell for about a good week and a bit. So I've been posting a few shorts, but I've been a bit inactive with my uploads. I think the last video I did was just before the David Benavidez Caleb Plant fight, just over a week ago. So yeah, really sorry about that, but I'm back now. You'll be getting daily uploads. Check out my shorts. I'm posting so many shorts about obviously I went to the Joshua and Franklin fight, so I'm doing a lot of shorts on that. I'll put the vlog, my Anthony Joshua v Jermain Franklin vlog, in the bottom of this video, so make sure to check that out. But guys, let's go straight into it. What is wrong with Anthony Joshua? Joshua obviously just beat Jermain Franklin, American heavyweight, who obviously just had a great performance, and for me, he beat Dillian Whyte. So Joshua won by unanimous decision. I was at the fight at the O2, and he did not look impressive. He's now 25-3, 22 knockouts. He's only been knocked out once, obviously by Ruiz. So guys, what is next for Anthony Joshua? That is the question. What is next for Anthony Joshua? He has various options on the table. He said that he wants Tyson Fury. Based on that performance, he's not ready for Tyson Fury. And would he even beat any of the top 5 in the world? I don't know. We'll get onto that. But look, let's go straight into it, right? Look, the first thing I would say in terms of what is wrong with Anthony Joshua is he's been on a decline. He has been on a decline. And let's talk about when that decline might have started. A lot of people say that Anthony Joshua's decline started against Vladimir Klitschko. The reason I disagree is because against Vladimir Klitschko, he wasn't even at his best. You could say he was maybe perhaps at his best in terms of how he fought and his style, but I still think he was very dominant the following year, which was 2018. He had wins over Takam. I know he didn't really stop. It was a bit of an early stoppage, but he fought Takam. He dominated Joseph Parker, who was at the top of his game and a world champion then. And he had some early trouble against Povetkin, but just stopped him convincingly. He destroyed Povetkin in the end. So for me, I feel like the decline actually started against Andy Ruiz. And one thing I would say about post Vladimir Klitschko is, yes, he did become a little bit aggressive. Yes, he did realise that he needed to, use his jab more. But I still think he was at the peak of his powers up until that Andy Ruiz fight. He had this confidence. He threw more combinations, and for me, the decline started in round 3. Madison Square Garden, New York, against Andy Ruiz Jr. He came in close, he got in the inside, right uppercut and a left hook, super quick combination, and dropped Andy Ruiz. And then he went absolutely crazy, started throwing a kitchen sink at Andy Ruiz, trying to get him out of there, and got caught. He got caught right on the temple by Andy Ruiz Jr. and he's never been the same. How many times did he get stopped? He got dropped, I believe, four times in that fight. And against Andy Ruiz, I was watching the first few early rounds. Even then, he didn't look great, but you can still see he had the confidence, which he doesn't have now. So since then, he's been reluctant to, go in for the kill. He's lost his killer instinct, and I think since then, since Andy Ruiz, he's won 2 fights. So he's won 3 fights in his last 6 fights. He's beaten Andrew Ruiz in a rematch. He's beaten Pulev, and now he's beaten Jermain Franklin. So in his last 6 fights, he's lost 3 times. He's lost against Usyk twice, and he's lost against Ruiz. He's got one knockout in his last 6 fights, which is against Pulev, Pulev was past it. He was well past it, and I wasn't even impressed by him then in that Pulev performance. So, look, when you look at it on paper, AJ isn't the same. He's not the same. And let's move on to another thing that's wrong with Joshua. It's his confidence. That's the second thing, his confidence. He doesn't have the same confidence. Maybe it's because he's not undefeated anymore. That can psychologically affect a lot of fighters. Maybe it's because he knows. Maybe he doesn't like to get hit. He's been dropped a couple of times, against the likes of Klitschko and Ruiz. Maybe he doesn't want to, experience that again. But he does not have the confidence. Like I wish I was ringside. I was in the arena. I was watching it live at the O2, and I honestly don't think he threw more than a 2-punch combination. He threw the 1-2. It was just one. It was just his shot selection was was very weak. He didn't throw many combinations at all, if any. He was just high. Look, the jab is a beautiful tool, but someone like Joshua, he was just very, very gun shy, And that moves on to the third thing that's wrong with Anthony Joshua. He's overthinking, and he's not using his strengths. Look, he's got speed. He can throw combinations at speed. He's got power. And don't forget, he's not even a one-punch knockout artist, is he? Really? He's like a Benavidez. He uses his speed, throws punches in bunches and knocks out, overwhelms and knocks out his opponents. But he's not using his strength. He doesn't do that anymore. He does not do that anymore. And then in regards to overthinking, that he's overthinking a lot. He's overcomplicating things, which is kind of making him hesitant to throw punches in the corner, whether it was with Rob McCracken, Derek James now, it was Robert Garcia in the last fight. He's asking too many questions. Not that that's a bad thing, but he needs to just, listen to his trainer and just do what he does best. He can beat these opponents. He beat Vladimir Klitschko, so be it, he was 40-41, but Vladimir Klitschko, that version he was confident. He really wanted to, win those world titles. He's fought better fighters than Franklin. He's fought Povetkin. He's fought Ruiz in the rematch. He's fought Carlos Takam a few years back. He's got a solid resume. In his last fight against Usyk, that was an amazing performance. I was so impressed with AJ. That's one of the best performances I've seen from him. And I thought he looked better in that fight under Robert Garcia than in this fight. Okay, I understand Derek James might have wanted and maybe they worked on a few things. Maybe they had a few objectives, like, working on the stamina throughout the 6 rounds and throughout the 12 rounds, and finishing strong instead of gassing out. Maybe they wanted to go to 12. Maybe they wanted to work on a few things, such as the fundamentals. But for me, he's just overthinking. I've seen one of the quotes I've seen is, because obviously everyone's still talking about it on YouTube and Twitter. It's like he wants to swim, but he doesn't want to get wet. And maybe that is what's hesitating him to, go on the inside or, go for the kill and have that kill instinct, because he knows he needs to maybe receive one to get the knockout, and he's not willing to. And then that comes down to another thing that I think's wrong with AJ. Does he trust his chin? Does he have the best of chins? No. But does he have a good chin? Quite possibly. I do think he has a good chin. I don't think he has a glass jaw, because look, who's really knocked him down? Vladimir Klitschko and Andy Ruiz. But he's never been knocked out clean. He's never been he's never dropped easily. And for me, he's got a good chin, but does he trust his chin? Maybe not. Maybe that's the confidence thing as well. But does he beat anyone in the top 5 or 6? For me, the top 6 heavyweights in the world right now are Fury, Usyk, 1 and 2, however you want to put them. You got Deontay Wilder and Joe Joyce, 3 and 4, however you want to put them. or actually, excluding AJ. And then, okay, I'll give you my top 5 excluding AJ. And then 5, okay, then AJ, AJ's in there around 3 to 4. Joyce Wilder. And then for me, Andy Ruiz is probably 6. You got Dylan White, 7, 8. Then you got, the likes of Zhang, Hrgovic, Sanchez, etc. So does he beat Ruiz in a trilogy? I think that's an awesome fight. If Joshua at his best back then couldn't beat Ruiz. Ruiz is, he's coming back, he's getting into some form, he's just beat Luis Ortiz, fast combinations. Ruiz is a lot better than against Jermain Franklin. So that would be I'm not sure if he would beat, based on that performance this past weekend, I'm not sure if he would beat Andy Ruiz. Does he beat Deontay Wilder? For me, Deontay Wilder would knock him out clean. He wouldn't be able to avoid the right hand. Unless Joshua knocks Wilder out, but I don't think he's got the confidence to go for the knockouts now. So I think Wilder knocks him out. I think Joyce absolutely breaks him down, takes him into deep waters and drowns him. Like Gervonta Tank Davis says he's going to do to Ryan Garcia. Like he said, they were Tank's words at the press conference in New York. Usyk, we've seen how that goes. We've seen how that went, sorry. And then Fury, I think plays with him. So that's the thing, guys. What do you think? Do you think Joshua can become a world champion again? At this current moment in time, I don't think he can. Unless, he regains that hunger. He has a few warm-up fights. He improves in his next performance. He, beats and just looks impressive against someone like Dylan White in the next fight. And there might be some politics. If the undisputed fight between Fury and Usyk does happen, could the belts, in the rematch, if there's a rematch for that fight as well, could the belts be, spread out, vacated, and then, there could be a vacant world title. It could be AJ against, anyone in the top 10, top 15. And I think then he could perhaps win a world title. But in this current moment in time, in the next 12 to 18 months, if the belts are still with, the top guys, I don't think he can win a world title. And even if a belt is vacated, I don't know how hungry Joshua is. And maybe I'm being a bit harsh there, perhaps, because look, he looks like he's willing to learn. He's gone outside. He's gone out of his comfort zone. He's finding the best trainers in the world. And maybe if he does have 1 or 2 more fights, like a Dillian White, and then a Ruiz, he might work his way up, because he's only 33, guys. He's only 33, but everyone's prime and peak's different. Like Joe Joyce, he's 37, but he's fresh. He's getting better and better. And Joe Joyce is a danger for anyone. I'm going to the Joe Joyce fight against Zhang in London next week. I'll be doing vlogs there. Subscribe, guys, share. Thank you for all your support, guys. I'll be going to a lot more fights now, so keep an eye out for the content. And guys, that's my answer. I don't think Joshua can become a world champion again, because I feel like he's regressing. I feel like he's on a decline, and I think Eddie Hearn might cash in on Joshua and make that Tyson Fury fight before Joshua declines even more and regresses even more. But guys, look, I love Joshua, great fighter, and I do hope he proves me wrong. Although the last thing I want to say is, what is wrong with the? Look, you saw in the thumbnail. What is wrong with the? He's losing his head a little bit. I should have probably spoke about that a bit. Look, again, he acted a bit like he has that. It kind of felt like he was kind of bullying and belittling Jermain Franklin. At the end, look, he hit him on the head at the final bell. Didn't really show much respect. Was leaning on him, and I didn't really like that from Joshua. I did not really like that. I think he should have been a bit more respectful. And look, that's 2 fights in a row now. He's lost his cool. Guys, I'm not sure what's going through his head. He looks like he has a lot of demons. But guys, look, I'll be back with another video. Daily uploads this week. Keep an eye out. Videos on Devin Haney Lomachenko, Josh Taylor, Teofimo Lopez. I'll be doing shorts on this week's fights. Sebastian Fundora's fighting. Shakur Stevenson's fighting. Bam Rodriguez is fighting. And I'll be talking about the obviously daily news, breaking news, what's happening. So guys, please like, share, subscribe. I really appreciate all your support. I'll be back with another video.
can't even pronounce her name. Talking numbers on the phone while I'm getting brains. Switch 4 lanes, I'm in my own lane. You can catch me